Hi, how's it going? It's Trigger with BuckeyeCity here to bring another war recap. Now, in this one, I'm going to be showing you the war we had over the weekend. We had planned to do an inter-clan scrimmage, but the weights were off, so our other clan that we were matching up against ended up matching within the first few minutes of some Asian clan, and we were going to head back to BuckeyeCity, but then I told them it wouldn't really make any sense because we'd only have a few members, so we might as well just run it from the screen plan and go from there, see who we get. So we spun for war and we ended up matching RegulatorsX, which actually turned out to be a fairly decent matchup because we actually got to practice against anti-3-star bases now. Nobody likes those run-of-the-mill farm wars, so like I said, it turned out to be a pretty decent matchup. With RegulatorsX, they 2-starred all Town Hall 10s and 3-starred all Town Hall 9s. So I mean, it didn't really do too bad. They had a few dips, but you see that in almost any war. With us, we pulled 3 Town Hall 10 triples and we cleared all the 9s. So, like I said, we were just out here having fun. It was a good war. So I'm going to be showing you 4 attacks from this war, 2 Town Hall 10 triples, and then 2 Town Hall 9 hits. So, without further ado, let's get into it. With this one, as you can tell, RegulatorsX, they're not one of the high-level war clans, so they don't really know base design. But one thing I want to point out, you see where that queen is positioned right there? That turns out to be a major flaw. I actually was the one to conduct this attack, and I saw it from the moment we matched, and I was hoping that they would switch bases because it made the attack way too easy. Now, with this AQ walk, the queen is actually able to take out the defending queen going down to that southeast corner. So once she gets next to that elixir storage, she'll be able to hit the queen right from there, and that automatically takes her out of the game, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about pushing in, pulling that CC or anything like that, and I can just stroll around the entire base, taking out as much as I want. And the queen goes down. And as you can see, the way the air defense was placed, I mean, that was also another easy kill. And another thing I wanted to point out was they have their expos on ground and only one expo on air. Whenever you're versing a clan that can 3-star, that's one thing that you want to stay away from, because that's just automatically going to give them the 3-star ability through Loon or whatever it is that they choose to use at that time. So you want to limit as much possibilities for 3-star attacks as possible. Alright, so I broke the wall in there just so I can get a couple of defenses out of there. The queen isn't going to really push in. She's just going to pull out all the good stuff and then continue walking down to the south side. I got the king down there doing a split hero, so I can take out the air D as well as pull the CC. So the king, who was actually very high value there, he was able to get everything within that compartment, and I didn't have to worry at that point. The queen, she's going to target that air sweeper, which will then take out the possibility of my loons being pushed away and targeted by multiple defenses. So as you can see, I took out a good majority of the base, and now I don't really have too much to worry about. I actually had, I believe, 5 loons left in the bag that I didn't even use until the very end. They weren't needed at all. So everything was pretty much in a good position so that I can target the defenses without being hit. As you can see, I still had a lot of loons left, and now I'm just throwing them around, doing a little star pattern so they can work on the cleanup and get this knocked out a little quicker. So that's going to be the first 3-star for the war. Alright, the next attack I'm going to show you is by Bombo. He's going to be taking on another anti-3-star base.
What's
I mean, it's a little low level, but it doesn't take away from the ability. He was able to zap the Inferno, Queen, and CC. And that's another thing that you see with clans who don't really go against people who have the ability to 3-star Town Hall 10s. They have a bunch of high value defenses all in the same area, which is easy target. So what Bombo here did, he made a very smart move, chose the Lightning, because he's going to get that Air Dude, he's going to get the Inferno, he's going to get a lot of the high value defenses, and once those go down, he can start his air raid. So with him, he has 3 loons, and then he has a Hound and Loon, or 3 Hounds, and a Hound, Loon, and CC. So he's going to be Watching his base up, and he does a nice job with the clockwise pattern here. Everything's flowing nicely, all has good pathing, and there's not too much that he has to worry about, especially with most of these defenses being really low level. He doesn't have anything that's going to stop him from 3-starring his base. And like I said, you see that Expo, it's pointed at the ground. For what? It's not being utilized at all. So right now it's basically like he's hitting a Town Hall 9 because only 2 bows were set to air. And as you can see, this base is already done. He's got a ton of loons left, and there's nothing that can stop this attack from getting that 3-star. So I'm going to speed this up, and that was definitely an awesome hit by Bombo. Good job, man. Alright, next attack I'm going to show you is probably one of my favorites. He's using the Go-Bo-Loon, and I definitely haven't seen this in a long time, so right when it was being conducted I was like, oh my god, is that a freaking Go-Bo-Loon attack? Yeah, it was. It was great too. And with this kind of attack, it takes a lot of patience. You got to make sure that you get everything down, all those air Ds, so that your loons can just flow freely, because loons and hogs are probably some of the most op troops that Supercell's pushed out. They're definitely hard to stop once they get going. And with this base design, it's very poorly built. He has access to 4 air Ds on his push to the Queen. He was smart when he chose to go with the Valks, because Valks on the race are just going to wreck everything. And the way his defenses are spread out, his Valks are just going to keep going to the right, go down, and then push right to the Queen. So that's one thing they might want to work on in the future. Valks on the raid, defending Queen goes down. And then once they clear through that core, he's going to start dropping his loons. Core's down, loons come out. So you got a very nice touch here. All the defenses are basically targeting everything in the core. Be it the Queen, the Golems, the King, doesn't matter. There's only one Archer Tower and that one lone Wizard Tower that was actually targeting the loon. So after this attack is conducted, you can definitely see that he has a ton of loons left, so that was a great job on his part for planning. He saw the vulnerability to the Go-Bo-Loon attack, and he utilized it perfectly. He still has a Queen with almost half life left. Awesome hit. And then cleanup troops are out. Good job, man. And for the last attack, I'm going to be showing you one from Terminator, who was also able to exploit a base. So I want you to look at what he has. He's using drags and loons, and then he also has golems and stuff like that. With this base, you see this a lot. people have those offset air Ds where they're all on one side, which makes completely no sense to me. If you have all those air Ds on one side, all you need is a kill squad to target that one side. And he was smart. He brought an earthquake and a lightning so he can take out that top air D. And from there, he has no air defenses to worry about. With drags, they're tanks, and they also do that splash damage, so they take out every building very quickly. And they're kind of hard to stop, especially with no air defenses targeting them. So, like I said, Terminator, great planning. He saw the vulnerability to his base, all the air Ds on one side, used his kill squad to take that out, and then just loop the drags around. What he's going to do here, he's going to start his kill squad from that almost 9 o'clock-ish. Push in, take out those defenses. Once those air defenses go down, then he'll start his drag attack. That air defense went down. CC's about to go down in a second. Queen's moving to the left, just as we planned, and she's going to clear out that compartment. And look at that, his minions are coming down. He dropped the wizard down to start setting that funnel, because with drags, you definitely want to make sure they're going in the right direction, so when it moves. Expo's down, air sweeper's down. And from here, he doesn't really have too much that he's going to worry about. He also has those loons in the bag that are just going to come down, and they're going to start sweeping through the base. That's pretty good work on getting all the troops to basically go to the same area. So drags are acting as shields while those loons are just coming and laying massive damage down. As you can see, he's down to about 4 or 5 drags left, but he doesn't really have anything to worry about now. All he has is 1 archer tower and 1 wizard tower that can actually target the drags. But those are already down now, so awesome hit by Terminator. And that was definitely a great job. Everybody, they took their time in this war, because whenever we war, we take it seriously and make sure that we plan accordingly so that we can actually get that win. And when we saw regulators pop up, we know that they have the ability to at least clear the 9s. We didn't know how well they did on Town Hall 10, so we made sure that we planned accordingly and we knocked out each attack. Alright, that's going to be it for this war recap. Good job to all the boys at BuckeyeCity who went out there, they conducted their attacks, and they actually smashed that entire war. You guys should definitely look forward to what I have coming out soon. We ended up pulling 10 Town Hall 10 triples in our last war, so you're definitely going to see some awesome, exciting attacks, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It's triggering.